we tried to make it as interesting within that confine. And I think we ended up really doing quite different stuff. I mean, what do you think? I'm asking Rumi and Shumi
Yeah,
here.
we definitely can't give out too many of the secrets, or in terms of people have to
True.
see what we have done. So that's why we want to talk about it. Okay, what we have done, but there's definitely, I would like to say, we presented poetry in a very special way, in a different way, I would rather say. Definitely it's been tried in different languages. Definitely people do try, but it hasn't happened before, especially from the Bangladeshi community. It didn't happen. So let's put it that way. Yeah, please, Farah.
Regarding that, I would like to say, like, here I have seen like people from Bengali origin has performed with the poetic words or poetry, but people has forgotten, like, there is a subtle difference, there is a fine line of tuning between theater and poetry, because when they have performed poetry, it more appeared like a theater, and the spoken words or poetry got lost in the work they have displayed. But here in BPPC, which, like, EESHITA Azad has directed, which everyone will be seeing, you see the fine tunings, like, poetry has remained the, like, focal point,
The integrity
and
was there.
everything if like, followed, because it's very important when you present a poetry, that particular poetry needs to be loud. So that
Exactly.
we have done, and it's been done with a fine tuning. So I'm sure we wouldn't disappoint
No,
anyone.
definitely. And I think Rumi and Shumi, they're here and
They
performers as
have
well. I
done
mean, I
justice.
definitely can speak for what I have done, what I've experienced, but it'd be interesting since we have two esteemed guests here. Shumi is very serious now. Okay. Okay, Shumi and Rumi. So I'd like to mention if the audience can see their names as well, so they will understand who I'm talking about. Okay, that's fine. So we have both Shumi and Rumi, you performed as well. So probably start with Shumi, if you can tell us what was special, or what was what you found that it was quite different from everything else that you have seen before done with poetry.
First of all, I just enjoyed the whole experience. I just really enjoyed the whole process. It's quite new to me in terms of performance. Poetry writing I've done for a while, but not officially. So it was nice doing it as part of a group, and over lockdown, over this period, it was nice connecting through poetry. And the performance, it was just different styles. It was different to me. And like Farah said, you really heard the poetry, you felt the poetry, maybe saw the poetry, and it even I'm trying not to say parts of the performance is a secret, right? And so even parts of it, and people that maybe weren't part of that BBPC prior to this, they enjoyed it. And it was nice to see a newcomer come in and read the poetry, or see the poetry, or how it was performed, add their own flavor to it as well, and also experience it. And quite emotional. I saw a sort of emotional
I
connection
mean,
to the
what we have
poetry.
done, definitely we can say we had given expression to the words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you really felt it. It was nice, and it's nice when you experience it from both sides, from writing it down, from being just writing the poetry, to reading somebody else's. And sometimes you're apprehensive of the process, like you don't want to misrepresent a poem or written by someone else or anything, but you just put your heart and soul into it, and then you just like, and
How
you
did you
know,
get over? I
thankfully.
mean, if you ever felt nervous, because some of the things,
Yeah.
say writing a poetry, it's a very thing you done in isolation. You just do it and you're with yourself. But when you are bringing it to the wider audience, even performing it in a certain way, which is choreographed,
Right.
did you find it daunting?
Yeah, I think it's a pleasant type of excitement and nervousness all joined together. So it's just like a combination of the two. So, but all pleasurable, all good, all together. So, and it was nice because there were struggles along the way of how to represent it. There's always been these discussions about how to represent. Do we just read, or how can we present it? So this was a nice combination of all the ideas, and then some new ones thrown in. So I think you go over the nervousness. Everyone's really supportive in the group, and they support each other and encourage each other, and they're happy however it's presented. But thankfully, everyone presented it lovely.
We have a very good team, I would say. BBPC, it's a very
Yeah.
healthy environment for a poet's or
sharing.
any creative person's growth, which is a
Yeah.
very good thing that BBPC, and I would say kudos to the people who have started it. And EESHITA has been there. She's the director. And then FARAH, who's a co-founder, SHAMIM Appa. So the environment of BBPC is as such. Even there had been a lot of tense moments during the recording, I would recall. But EESHITA, you handled it very well, I would have to say. And we missed FARAH to a certain extent. You couldn't stay throughout the recording, but you were there. So RUMY, now over to you. What was the highlight for you of that performance or whatever you have done? Because I would like to mention, you probably have to unmute yourself. I would like to mention in this connection that RUMY had played quite a big role, and she had to do a lot of work apart from just writing her poetry. So people would know when they watch it. I think we still can't hear you for some reason, RUMY. Can everyone hear RUMY? I can hear her. I don't know if RUMY is muted. But in the meantime, I would like to mention that for the registration, for your free tickets to watch the show, the premiere of the show on Eventbrite, you have this link that's already pinned on the comment section. If you click on the link, you have to register yourself. That's for free. And in Eventbrite, you'll get your tickets. So on the 18th of November at 5:15, the show would be premiered. You can watch it for 48 hours. It would be there on that link. So you can watch it there. But then after an hour from 5:15 at 6:15 on Zoom, there'll be a separate link that'll be sent to you once you get registered. You will have an option whether you'd like to just watch the premiere show or like to join in the Q&A session as well. So you have options, whether you'd like to do both or just one. So you'll be sent the Zoom link as well for the Q&A session, and then you can ask any questions based on the performance or anything or the process. Any questions you have, you can ask, and I think we are quite free to answer the questions, and hopefully everything will be quite good.
I'm looking forward to people joining in with their own poems at the end of the show today.
Yeah, I hope someone doesn't come on Zoom and say, okay, can you sing Ma by James? And can you sing that song? That'll be interesting. I mean, things happen even on live shows, and we can't stop it. On a Zoom link, someone comes and requests you to sing a Tagore song, probably. So that'll be interesting. But, that's poetry too. If we can manage to do that, we'll do it.
Yes, absolutely. And I was just thinking, if you asked people to write on the chat their poems, if they don't want to come in on stage and say it. So if they do that on their chat, we can read it out for everyone as well.
Exactly. There's another thing that we'll be reading some of the poetries that all the poets present here today. We have many more who are not on screen because this show is a special episode we are doing just based on the performance on the season of Bangla drama. As EESHITA mentioned, that we had a limit of 6 people that we could be there at any one time. So that's one of the reasons why only 5 of us were there. So based on that, we'll be reading out some of the poetries that have been written by some other poets of BBPC or even written by us. So that's one of the highlights as well of today's show. But in the meantime, as I said, today's theme, you said as well, coming of age. And it could be in Bengali, it could be in English. And if you write it in Hindi, please write it in English because I won't be able to read it out. Or none of us can probably.
Okay.
Or Urdu.
I didn't realize that might have been a possibility.
Yeah.
Should we...
Yeah, or someone comes up with Chinese, then that'll be fun. So in that case, they will have to phone me and they'll have to read it out. I mean, I don't know if I have any Chinese audience, but yeah, it can happen. You never know. The chances
You
are
never
there.
know.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if RUMY is with us anymore. But in the meantime, probably Farah, you write.
Yes,
so we'll get people warmed up a little bit. How about you? Would you like to recite a poetry written by you or based on the theme coming of age?
Oh,
would you like to do it for us today?
Okay, let me go through it then. Before that, I just want to thank you, Rumi and Shumi, for performing. And it's been
Oh,
wonderful watching you all. And I would also
thank you.
like to thank on behalf of BPPC that whoever contributed in writing Nikhat
It was a
Haq,
great privilege. I
Mike
enjoy it, to be
Reggett,
honest.
Sadiq Ahmed Chaudhary, Munira Munir, Simon Eater, and us. So
Ershad
much I don't
ALAMGIR.
need. Ershad ALAMGIR, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's a privilege to have you. You are a singer, you're a poet, and you write.
Thank
So
you. I enjoy.
I mean, we cherish you.
No, definitely. I mean, I enjoy. There's another thing I'd like to add: the sound design. People would hear because we have done some of the things. It's quite interesting presented. So there is quite a lot of sound designing had happened. So I was kindly offered to play that role, so I could do that. So you have a lot of
So
interesting things. I'm just saying here and there some interesting tidbits, so you know what you're expecting. It's not only poetry, but expressing poetry in a whole different language.
absolutely, absolutely. I think Farah's looking for a poem. Maybe Shumi can also read hers if she has it ready.
That's the
Just
director taking over. You see that?
sorry.
No, that's
It's fine. I love that.
Yep, I can read one that Ershad I think you would like.
And may I just say, so for the viewers, Shumi has this personality normally that's very subdued, but then when she is reading her poems, she sort of blooms. So I hope that that happens today.
Oh, yes.
I'll try my best.
No pressure. No pressure.
Coming of age. Coming of age is accepting all parts of me, British Bangla mix. Develop we must as time passes by. Time to think and ponder why. Should I, shouldn't I? Perception of who am I? What is the sense of I? I is just you, me, we, and I. Stand together and unite the essence of yours and mine. Be present. Coming of age is acceptance of everything meaning nothing and nothing meaning everything. Sit in the silence of our creation. Appreciate and absorb the revelation. You are everything you ever were or needed to be. You are free. I see you for you. How do you now see me? Thank you.
Thank you, Shumi. And it was interesting. I could see Shumi started smiling because I'd like to share at this point because it's almost like our slogan during that performance. I see you for you. How do you not see me? So yeah, we talk in that language now. So Shumi, you have done something. It's a great achievement. You know, when one of your lines, it becomes a staple that everyone's speaking
yes.
that language. So it's a great thing you have done.
Thank you.
Actually,
So
funnily enough, a story of our countdown posters. So for promo, Nikhat Haq, who's obviously not here, but she's part of BBPC and sort of handles our social media handles. So we do have groups. I'm sorry, I'm doing a little
no,
plug
no,
in.
please, please.
We have an Instagram group, BBPC_poetry. We have a Twitter, we have Facebook group and page. So there's, if you want to find us, you just type in BBPC or British Bangladeshi Poetry Collective, you can join us. So going back to the story, so Nikhat had been helping me create 10 posters for countdowns for every day for social media. And when it came my time to choose a few lines for Shumi and the poster for Shumi, guess which one I chose?
I see you for you. How do you now see me? I remember this line now. I love that. So this
Yes.
is one way of taunting Shumi as well, but she's such a team player. She never minds. I mean, this is the environment, what we are talking about. This is what BBPC is all about, that we have this teamwork and such a nice environment. So it'll be interesting for other people who are interested in poetry and want to collaborate, I think. I think we invite everyone with open arms so people can join in and try
Yes,
to
please.
be part of BBPC. Yeah. So, Farah, did you find the poetry that
Yes,
you'd like
I
to
did.
recite?
But
Please.
before I read my poetry, I just want to show this book. This is the first British Bengali anthology. It has been
Wow.
published in 2017, and this is the first one, I would say, which has been like, in English, because there has been an anthology of Bengali poets all around the world, but not the one which has been done completely English. So we have 13 poets from England,
England.
and
Wow.
this was edited by poet SHAMIM AZAD and Stephen Watts, and this is the first flagship of British Bangladeshi
Wow.
Poetry Collective anthology. And we had the second edition, which came out in 2018 in the Ekushe Boy Mela, and we would be having more poets in this book
So
contributing.
this was published in Bangladesh or in the UK?
This was published in Bangladesh by one of the eminent publication house, Agami Prokashani,
Wow.
and was edited by Shamim Azad.
And the one in
Stephen Watts.
2018, who were publishing it?
Is the second edition came out.
As well, with
Because
Agami?
we were, yes, because we were
Okay.
all sold out. So second edition has been sold out too. So we would like to have the third edition,
Wow.
but we would include more poets this time, definitely.
Interesting. So people are
Yeah.
definitely loving
So
it. I mean,
this is one of the first successful project, and second one, like, is BBPC has performed for the BBC 60 Years of Civilization program, which
Wow.
was they held it in 2018, and BBC had the opportunity to perform at the West Greenwich Library and some other library, and also BBPC did perform at the Globe Road Poetry Festival, which was organized by the Queen Mary University, and we have kept doing our regular show. Shumi has been part of it, so she knows a lot too.
Perfect. I mean, that's the thing. It's a process that people have to
Yes.
go through that one. In the meantime, we have Taposhi Roy. Congrats, Rumi dear. Congrats, everybody. That's the message. I'm trying to find if there are any comments apart from Facebook. No, that's what I can see in the meantime. So yeah, Farah, please take over.
Yes. So since you said about the coming of age, so when
That
you
was
experience
EESHITA.
your first, but for me, I'm not sure. But when you experience your first heartbreak, so that is a coming of age too.
Okay, yeah.
So I would like to read one of the poem from that era. So it's called Solitary Tone.
Bold. That's what we call bold. Yeah. Good job.
So it's called In Solitary Tone. My heart ache and lonely pain I feel. It grows paler with gloomy thoughts. My sense die in numb distress. My spirit cries and silently fades away into the forest dim. I wandered lonely as the cloud. The shade fall over the mountain and the hills with greater grief. I sing the song of spring. My words echoes far off through the dark veil. When earth fall asleep, my nights wait for some slumber to caress. I witness twilight of the night in silence and the darker share of my life. In carelessness I'm born, to weep alone, to see thy life fade, as lonely nightingale. Thank you.
Wow. Beautiful. And what do you think about this? Sometimes people have the reservation, and especially Ishita and I were talking about it earlier today as well, that sometimes we find it quite daunting sharing our most intimate experiences, or the experiences, heartbreaks, even the good moments as well, or the bad moments. What do you think about that one? I mean, how do you feel about
Is it for
sharing
me?
this one? What's your reservation? Yeah, to you, especially since you have, you put it out.
Okay, so I would say, as you have said it earlier, the boldness, because when you realize, that that's part of you, that's part of your life, and you have the courage to come out of it, that's the time you show boldness not in a negative way, boldness in a positive way, because you stand in a platform where you bring positivity and you can move forward.
It's bravery as opposed to
It's
like
a positive
cocky.
positiveness. So
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Thank you.
And you are also inspiring other people to come out as well and make themselves heard, and so people can hear their voice, because
Yes.
this experience is someone who hasn't reached that. I mean, for them, that coming of age hasn't happened yet through these heartbreaks or these good moments. So probably from that, they learn, okay, this is coming for me. So probably I have to get ready for that.
I mean,
because
there is no
we have
taboo
different stories,
in
but similar.
negative experiences of life we go through. So, if we go through any negative experience, it's nothing we should demean ourselves or we should demean other, because it's a process, it's a stage everybody goes through. So
That's part of the journey.
we
That
should
makes you
come
what you
alive
are.
and kicking and stand. Here I
Exactly.
am. Thank you.
Like that, Farah. Like that.
Thank
I mean,
you.
we have definitely a very strong person as the founder. So now over to you, Ishita. Your coming of age poetry. So in the meantime, I hear there are a lot of comments. I'm trying to find them. So in the meantime, yeah. If we can go to Ishita in the meantime, Ishita is trying to find the poetry and recite, and I'll try to find the comments so I can read it out for people.
Before that, I have a question for you, Mr. Host.
Okay.
Things I thought I should, what made you join BBPC, and why do you think it's different from any other group?
First of all, I have been writing ever since, I think, from a high school. I used to write stories, short stories. I had written 2 novels. I mean, it's all just manuscript. And then I had been part of a little mag in Bangladesh. We used to practice all different kinds like postmodernism and different kinds of poetry experimentalism and different things we have tried. And so poetry had always been with me, and I always do write poetry, and people know me as a musician. I do, and presenter and a lot of other things. But the thing is, poetry, this is one of the things I haven't expressed it like that. But because the thing, you need to find like-minded people. It's very important. Because sometimes you feel like, okay, sharing this intimate, like the expression you have today, and even every line you were reciting, you could probably visualize many things. So this is very private, and this is very precious as well for you. So if you are sharing it with a group who really can relate to that, then it's wasted. So I was waiting for that moment when I can feel that I would find some like-minded people who would understand that one, and with whom I can even grow even more. And that's the moment when Shamim Appa asked me, she invited me to come over and join one of the sessions of BBPC, and like those writing sessions and the meetings. And I've joined, and I felt, yeah, it's interesting because you can discuss poetry, and I like to discuss about literature, poetry, but as I said, it's a right forum. It has to be the right forum. So I felt that I found that with BBPC, and definitely, yeah, I'm so happy that I've done it. And thank you for giving me the opportunity as well, because we had other performers as well, a lot of talented people in the group, that I could be part of it, and I performed as well, and performed some of the poetries written by others and my own poetry as well. So it was really a great opportunity. So thank you as well. Thank you, BBPC.
Okay, on that note, I'm going to read the poem. It's one of my poem that on the performance, Ershad actually recited.
Okay, yeah.
And we were talking about coming of age, and I mentioned when I had my daughter, it was for me as a human being, it was a milestone. But then when Ershad was reading it, and we heard him so many times because of the rehearsals, I forgot it's my poem. And it's because it was from a mother to daughter, it became a father to daughter. And exactly. I started calling him, okay, your fatherhood poem is now up. So we had these really lovely moments because of this poem. I'm going to read it.
Please.
Now. Like a bowl of bubbling milk, you heaved and became full, overflowing your banks with thick smell of cream engulfing us and you. Confused at your own emotion, the weight of it weighing on you. I look at you and I remember how it was to feel like bottled milk, rolling side to side on a moving deck with your ship sailing on blue sky and blue silk towards the unknown. In a minute, you will grow your seagull wings or become the wind in your sails or the pink-hued cloud smiling with possibilities. You don't know it yet, but you're made of magic. You will always be full in seconds, but from now on, you will be in charge of the weather around you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And I would like to read some comments in the meantime. We have quite a lot of people who have joined and left their comments. I apologize to them and that I didn't get to read it until now. So Shonali Mukta Roy, one of our top fans, by the way, she's a very good singer from Toronto. Nice to see you, Ershad Alamgir, after a long time. Congratulations. Yeah, she's a big fan of the show. Rizwana Kubir, thoughtful discussion. She's in the US. Hussein Fozlul Bari, he is one of, I would say, a top diplomat in the country and a good friend of mine and my batchmate. We studied law together, so very privileged, and he's doing a PhD at the moment in England. স্বর্ণালী মুক্ত রয় বাইরে থেকে যখন বাংলা সাহিত্য কথা কবিতা গান চর্চা করা হয় সত্যি গর্ব করার মতো ভেরি নাইস অফ ইউ থ্যাঙ্কস ফর দ্য ইন্সপিরেশন স্বর্ণালী মুক্ত রয় again বাকি সুন্দর করে বললেন শামীম আপা so it was about the explanations that we had and some clarifications about poetry translation. Johirul Mitu, I don't know if anyone knows him. No? Okay, শামীম আজাদ নামটার সাথে এত পরিচয় সেই বিচিত্রা থেকে তারপর তার কবিতা আজ শামীম আপা সহ সব কবির জন্য অশেষ ভালোবাসা. Welcome back, Rumi. Shihabuddin, hi Farapu, great going. So it's for Farah Shihabuddin. Probably you know him, right? Okay. Taposhi Roy, খুব সুন্দর অনুষ্ঠান জহিরুল মিঠু কবিতা শুনবো. So that's what we are doing, Johirul Mitu. So I hope you are enjoying it. And congrats, Rumi dear. Congrats, everybody. That's from Taposhi Roy. So yeah, that's what the messages we had so far. And there's some live comments. Problem is that it's really hard sometimes to keep track of the comments because it comes on the live show screen and also separately on the post itself. So by the way, we have them all. And do I have Rumi now? So we have Rumi. So we have been missing you and you have joined. So it's probably straight away we'd ask you to recite something based on the theme coming of age.
Okay, brilliant. Sorry about the technical difficulties I was having.
You're here.
Yes, I'm here now. Okay, I'll be reciting a poem written by Shumi, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's I was 16 once.
Please.
Okay. I was 16 once, but it feels like a long time ago. I was different from the rest. I thought I was invincible. It seems I have not grown old. Only my body says otherwise. A day older or a day bolder. All I wanted was to dance. The world a playground waiting to be explored. I couldn't think beyond sweet 16, but didn't know what it meant. So sometimes now, I take a moment to think exactly how old I am.
Wow, I love that poetry. Every time I listen to that, it's really a very good one. At the same time, it's a very good question. That's what I was asking to everyone. When do you think your coming of age happened? Because it doesn't come with age normally. You need to grow emotionally, the emotional intelligence you need to have. Because if you say that, okay, I'm 16, I'm 18 now, it doesn't come with that. So when did it happen for you, Rumi? When did you feel that, okay, I have come of age?
Absolutely. Actually, there's a question I would like to ask. Do we ever come of age?
That's another, which I think Farah said, it's a continuous thing. That it keeps on happening every day. We learn from our mistakes, we grow.
Like the others said, it comes in stages. So once I reached 18, I thought, hey, I'm grown up now. I'm an adult and I can vote. If I was to drink, I could go out, whatever. It doesn't really work like that, does it? Then when I became a mother, I thought, okay, I'm an adult now. And then I thought, well, actually, now that I've reached a stage in my life where my daughter is older now I feel completely, yes, I'm in my element. I'm an adult. At the same time, do we really feel our age ever? So what is, like, if I was to ask you, Ershad, instead, like, how old do you feel? You may have a actual biological age, but how old do you actually emotionally feel? Do you feel your age? Because I don't.
That's a very good question, because I believe in it. I think rest of the BBPC members, they would agree with me, because how I look at it, even sometimes when people ask me, Ershad, how old are you now? I literally have to count it from my date of birth to now, because I have forgotten. I really don't keep count of it. I still
Exactly.
feel like I can do the same things I used to do at high school. I can still jump on a wall and just jump from there, do whatever I like. Because I don't feel that sometimes, we kill that inner child we have once we grow up, and we feel like, okay, I have to act my age and I really can't be myself, which is a crime against humanity, I would say, because we kill ourselves. So this is why I never think of age. It's as they say, it's a very cliche thing. It's just a number, and that's
Number.
literally I look at it.
I mean, exactly, because just like you said, I have to think back, actually, hang on, I am as old as I am, but I don't feel it. And it's like you said, age is a number, but I think at the same time, it depends on your experiences in your past that
Exactly.
makes you, whether I have met 16-year-olds who are far more mature than, say, a 30-year-old.
Or even a
Sadly.
40-year-old, even a 50-year-old. You know,
Exactly.
you might say, because Ishita was mentioning about man-child. So, it's not only man-child. I think there are definitely a lot of women-child too. But the thing is, it's a thing that it's only your growth happens once you know the mistakes and you don't regret them, but you take them as a lesson for growth. I mean, that's
Exactly.
when I think you come of age.
I think I now finally have come of age, I would say, because I base it on the fact that I'm not aware, or I'm not really bothered by what others are thinking of me. I am able to kind of be myself, project
Perfect.
myself out there, instead of, whereas when I was younger, I was always thinking, oh, hang on, but what would auntie so and so think, or what would brother so and so think? Now, you know what? Nah, this is my time. I'm living it. If it's your problem, it's your problem, not mine. And now finally I have come of age.
I think many people have noticed that, and I've been living like that, I think, for long time. For a long, long time, I've been like this. Sometimes you get branded as being arrogant. A lot of other things. People say, okay, he doesn't care or she doesn't care. But the thing is that you owe it to yourself
Mm,
as a human being. You need to let yourself, because it's your one chance, I look at it, at life. And
yeah,
then if you
exactly.
lose this chance, this opportunity is once in a lifetime. By the way,
Yeah.
do you feel like a bit we have lost our other members? I'm just thinking where the other members are. If we have them in, okay, we have them in the conversation. I was like, okay, where are they? Because, but it was
We're
an
listening.
interesting conversation we were having, right? So I
I
thought,
I was thinking, listening to Rumi and Ershad, that our next poetry adda that will happen in December, and usually we have our poetry addas on the last Thursday of every month. And this time the theme could be, we ask two questions to everyone who joins in. Hi, what's your name? How old are you? And how old is your heart or your soul?
Exactly. That's a
I
Ah,
think
Or
brilliant
on
how old
that
are you
note,
question.
inside?
that's a, and I think this is a very good moment where one of our trustee, Mike Reggett, he has a haiku rap.
yes.
It's based on coming of age, and because many of the things, because all of us, I think we were saying that sporadically, and I think it sums up everything that we have been talking about in terms of coming of age. But
Yeah.
with your permission, can I read that one? Uh,
Yes,
Brilliant.
yeah.
yes.
So
And
it's called
Rumi,
coming. Yeah.
I think I would ask, sorry, I am being a bit bossy here,
Direct.
but Shumi and Rumi, would you do what you did for the performance?
Oh, yes, of course. Of
Okay.
course,
Yeah.
gladly. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So who will start first? Rumi or
I think
Shumi?
I
Shumi
think I
starts.
did on the
Okay,
performance.
let's do it. So it's a very interesting concept in a sense that it's one poetry, but kind of it'll be read by three people.
Even
So
though it's
you
three people, I think it's like three stages of our lives, I would say.
yeah,
Like
and different
representing the
expressions.
stages of our lives. Representing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, it's coming of age. That was the theme set by Ishita. So let's do it. Taking those first steps without support from mother,
That's coming of age.
When baby gurgles shift into meaningful words.
That's coming of age.
Waving goodbye to childhood and the smaller stage.
That's coming of age.
First day at new school, so many strange new faces.
That's coming of age.
The stress of exams that will shape future plans.
That's coming of age.
A driving license, free to watch X-rated films.
That is coming of age.
Outraged by politics, weekend protests and marches.
That's coming of age.
Living dogmatic and becoming pragmatic.
That's coming of age.
Then falling in love, sharing life with another.
That's coming of age.
Had to fire someone today. Right, but hard. It hurt.
That's coming of age.
Children are born, love, and hard duty combine.
That's coming of age.
Life smooth and settled, but you feel something is missing.
That's coming of age.
New job on offer, life-changing risks to assess.
That's coming of age.
Love crumbles slowly, slides into messy divorce.
That's coming of age.
Finding a new self, life all on your own again.
That's coming of age.
When months pass in days and years are fleeting moments.
That's coming of age.
A loved one dies, and you are unfairly still alive.
That's coming of age.
Cancer calls, and fear becomes your sole emotion.
That's coming of age.
Yesterday's a blur, but ancient past crystal clear.
That's coming of age.
Life forces dimmer, all joys a distant glimmer. The end of an age. Thank you. Thank you. It was great to perform together on the show.
Yeah, it was nice again.
I love that. I love that. So I thought that since we are talking about coming of age, why shouldn't we do that? And in the meantime,
That's
I'd
a
like to ask,
preview.
about that. And let's plug the premiere again. Because we have literally come towards the end of the show, and we'll have the concluding words, and we'd like to plug again the special premiere show that we are talking about today. So it's on the 18th of November at 5:15. The link, as you can see, it's already on the comment section. It's pinned. So you can go to Eventbrite website and register yourself free. And then you will be sent an email with the link to watch that show. The premiere would be, or the show would be on that link, available for 48 hours. So on that day, on the 18th of November, you can watch it. Then you can join for a Q&A session if you opt for that one during the registration of the ticket. It will be at 6:15 on the same day, and a Zoom link will be shared. So you can ask questions to all of us, the BBPC members, directors, and I think our chair will be there as well. Trusted will be there. So anyone you'd like to ask a question, they will be available. Am I right in saying that everyone will be present?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, Farah, please.
Yeah, I just want to ask Ishita, Azad, on behalf of you all. Like, you have three performers present here: Ershad, ALAMGIR, RUMY, HAQUE, and SHUMI Islam. So, would you like to share experience of working with them? Like, how did you find
Nice
them?
question.
I was
Love that,
actually going
Farah.
to come to that.
Oh, stole your thunder.
It could be with stealing
Ishita?
happened because we share the same emotion.
Yeah.
Ishita, you
Poets
can be
after all.
brutally honest. You can be
Oh.
brutally honest.
Ishita is muted, I guess.
I'll be brutally honest. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Come on then.
All of you surprised me and delighted me.
It's mutual. It's mutual.
But there are some key points, if I may say, though. As I said before, Shumi started reading her poems. It was really nice for me to witness, from coming to the poetry meetings, and always. She was very consistent. She's always very regular, but she sort of bloomed for the performance, and it was nice to witness that.
She
And
learned to expand, right? That's the thing. Exactly. That was the idea we had.
expand her range.
Yeah. Because
Um,
that's one of the things of BBPC, I would say. See, these creative art forms, it helps people. Because your innermost personality that you couldn't probably bring out, but you found that medium, I guess. So that's a very interesting point.
I'd like to thank the BBPC for that opportunity, because I remember years ago when I met Shamim Azad the first time, and it was at an event in Richmond. And I was introduced by a friend as a poet, and I wasn't very comfortable with that term of being introduced as a poet. And I went along with, okay, that is now my introduction. And Shamim Appa was really supportive and encouraging for people to join. And we were talking about discussions, and I think the BBPC concept came from that discussion amongst others. And I've been happy to be part of this group and support other people express themselves, essentially. So we're just expressing ourselves, whatever we identify ourselves as. And my background being totally different in science related and teaching. So it's been really enjoyable experience, because I've really had to push myself out of my comfort zone into performing arts and all sorts of things. But it's always been enjoyable and supportive, and I've enjoyed every step of it. So it was nice even having a poem printed in that edition of the book from that BBC printed a few years ago, and also this performance that we've just done. So I'm happy to go along with it and carry on performing and doing whatever is needed. And it would be lovely to see how it grows in the future. So thank you to everyone.
Oh, great.
Um,
Yes,
I
yes,
please.
Rumi,
yeah.
do I talk or do you talk?
Can I talk first?
Go on.
Shumi has already said, and we all know Shami Azad in the community as
By the way, the ladies have stolen the show and they're running it. I'm happy. I'm gonna watch it. I'll be here.
Ershad, I'll come to you.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was going to say, we all know Shami Azad, and even if we haven't worked with her, we know of her work. So that was like my comfort zone here in BBPC. However, what I wanted to say was EESHITA and FARAH they were the newbies for me. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect from these two ladies. And from working with them, and especially as EESHITA being the director, I would say it was a brilliant. I'm not saying this as a flattery to you, EESHITA, but this is genuinely what I felt. You actually gave a body to the words, and you were able to kind of, your concept was so clear that you knew what you wanted from your performers, and that's what kind of gave me the comfort that I knew, okay, if EESHITA knows what she's doing, then all I have to do is deliver what she wants, and I think I can do that. So that kind of gave me the what shall I say, the courage to carry on. Because before I had met EESHITA and FARAH, I thought, I don't know these guys and I've not really worked with them. How am I going to, okay, if it was Shamim Azad, I knew what to expect. But it was it was a brilliantly pleasant surprise for me. I shouldn't say surprise, because obviously I didn't know you guys, but why I say surprise, because I don't know you and I haven't seen your work. So it was really good. I just love the fact that you gave such body, such physicality to written words, I would say. So thank you to you and FARAH. And Ershad, you I've not really known either, and Shumi, and you guys were just brilliant performers, and I learned so much from you. And then there was Mike and loads of other people in the background, and having met all the other poets, it was just brilliant. It was exhilarating experience for me. So thank you all.
No, you're welcome.
Wow. Thank you, Rumi. Thank you. And deliver she did. She said when I had the courage, or no, not confidence on EESHITA. Well, she did. She delivered tenfold. I think that's my one word description of Rumi HAQUE is that she is unafraid. I can ask anything of her, and I know that she will do it or try it. And she's not which is an amazing thing is like most people are really afraid of how it's going to happen and a lot of insecurity works. I think she's a very confident woman, so she's not afraid of making a fool of herself, and what she does instead is she never makes a fool of herself.
Thank you, Shita.
Wow.
Well,
Very
this is
skilled.
what it brings me. Like I said, I have come of age now, finally. All that can happen is, the worst that can happen is you guys laugh at me. Hey, I laugh at myself. That's the
That's
best
the
way
thing.
to do it.
That wraps
That's
up
the
the
thing.
show really nicely. Coming of age, that theme. Yeah, please.
Two things very quickly. Ershad, he came in a little bit later, but dived in completely, being the only guy in the room, as well as being the representative of all the male voices. He had a very tough job, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was like jelly between all of us, gelled us all
In the
together.
tripod.
So
Oh.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
like I'm doing it today as well, just sitting in the corner, top corner, as you can see.
And lastly, I have to include Farah. Although she wasn't on stage, I would say that she's like the best. What should I say? So we are the two directors. There's two directors of BBPC, me and Farah, and I am the director of the show. But I never feel alone because I feel like Farah and me are always standing back to back.
You
So
complement
if
each
I'm
other because whatever you're missing out,
the
she
other one
remembers.
sees. Yes,
Yeah.
so we're like this. We're back to back. So we only have to look at one side, which is an amazing relief and a gift.
Yeah, I mean, you have a good eye for detail, Farah. I mean, that's what I realized as well. And the voice of conscience.
Yes.
She's like the glue that
Thank
glues
you.
everyone together.
Okay, so I would leave this opportunity now for Farah and Ishita. If you'd like to talk for the audience in terms of if you'd like to add anything, what I've already announced in terms of the show on the 18th, the premiere show. So if you'd like to add or you'd like to make the announcement yourself and invite people to get registered and enjoy the show and see what we are talking about.
Shall I go first, Ishita, and then you can? Okay. We are going to have our show on 18th of November, 5:15 is the premiere. So we would welcome you all to watch our show. And also we'd like to welcome you to join our group. Any poets, any singer, anybody who has passion for poetry in any form can come, because we have poets have joined us from North America, Singapore, Bangladesh, and they are all virtually connected to us because we would like to leave our legacy. And on that note, I would like to read two lines of SHAMIM AZAD poets, which I really feel would let us feel what I'm saying.
Please.
And that's what the BBC would like to leave, the legacy. I'm going to read the lines in Bangla. It's in Bangla, and just to honor our audience. So
Please.
I hope she can connect. মানুষ চলে গেলে পালক ফেলে যায়, জাতি চিহ্ন খুঁড়ে খুঁড়ে পরশ বোলায়।
Bah, beautiful.
আবার বলো. It was too quick.
মানুষ চলে গেলে পালক ফেলে যায়, জাতি চিহ্ন খুঁড়ে খুঁড়ে পরশ বুলায়।
Thank you.
Very deep.
Like people
Nice.
leave, like what it's basically translated in English, like, that when people leave, they leave the feathers, and the generation who comes, they look for that soft touch, that like, whatever that person,
That's been left
the
behind.
memories that's left behind. So they move on with that touch or the memories. So
Beautiful.
with BPPC, I think we can relate with that, because that's why we made BPPC.
It's
We
going
won't
from
be here,
strength to
but
strength. So there's
let the
definitely
poets continue.
definitely a lot of things we're expecting in the coming years and coming months as well. Even we made it happen during the lockdown.
Yes.
So it was even the rehearsals, people don't know that we had to do it on Zoom, and then even the performance, everything. But we managed to do the recording physically there. And so nothing is impossible.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. Yeah. And Rumi, I see you for you. How do you now see me?
How do you see me?
Exactly. So I had a great time today talking with the other members of BBPC and my teammate, I would say. So on that note, I'd like to conclude today's show. And thanks to every member of BBPC. We had Rumi Haq, Shumi, Shamim Azad, we had Farah Naz, and we had EESHITA Azad as well. So I hope you enjoyed the show, this special episode of In Harmony with Ershad. And as I said, there are a lot of interesting things coming up. And I'd like to mention that In Harmony with Ershad, I'm coming again this next week on a Saturday or a Thursday. You'll know with the promo, the perfect time of it, and when to watch the show. It will be a very special episode. And I have some new visions in the pipeline, and that would like to materialize in the coming days, because this is the time of lockdown when many people need our help, and we should extend our hand together and we should try to help them out. And with this end in view, I have created, or I have visualized in terms of like envisioned some of the future episodes of In Harmony with Ershad. So I hope you'll be with me and we'll be watching it together. And to mention that it will be again with musicians from all around the world. So keep your eyes peeled for the next episode that's coming next week. And it will be a very special episode, I can guarantee. And I would like to thank everyone who had been with us tonight and who had watched the show with us. And thanks, as always, that you have been a great support, great inspiration. So on that note tonight, I would like to say I have to sign off, but you keep well, keep safe, and be at the best of your health. Thank you.